Hey, chat, let's find out if we have any voice capability. Can everybody hear me? I'm not seeing anything that it says anybody can hear me. Oh, excellent. I was just getting ready to find out if it was the lag of things or mine. How is my voice compared to the background music? I haven't played this in forever. I'll see if I can actually remember how the game actually works. Voice is good on the volume. Excellent. The music sounds a little bit loud to me. That's why I was wondering. Foreground and background is low enough. Okay. Excellent. This was the lowest graphic game I had on Steam, and I wanted to see if this was something that would actually run without crashing completely. It's also fun, and I like the music. It is really a kind of a nightmare to play, though. It's, the adventure that I chose is the easiest one, and I've only beat 2 out of 3 of them, and both of them on the easiest setting. There is one with a man-eating bear, and that one is just absolutely terrible. Even on the easiest setting, at the very last second, the bear just kind of comes out of nowhere and kills everyone. My understanding is that the historical accuracy of this game is supposed to be fairly decent, too. I don't know a lot about it, but... Well, this is the easy setting, Rachel. And this is supposed to be the easier adventure, yes. There is this one. There is... So this is the one where you basically just have to beat the weather. In the second one, you have to beat the weather and the terrorists that took out the train. And then the third one, you have to beat the weather and the terrorists and wolves and a man-eating bear. So, yeah. It's challenging. But like I said, and the great thing is that there's no timing on it, so, like, if something happens, I can literally just walk away and go do something else. It's not like a game where I have to pause or I have to find a save spot or something like that, so... That's kind of nice. I don't know if I have enough. Yeah, I don't have enough to do anything else, I don't think. But I got the important things done for the first. Yeah. Good heavens, I didn't get... You never know what you're going to start out with, supplies or people. There's a whole bunch of different people you can get in completely random patterns. This one actually was a pretty good setup because 3 out of 4 of them are higher class. So they have less skills, but they also are more likely to get along. And this is obviously, you know, a resource survival game, but it's not only a resource survival game, one of the resources that you have to make work is that you have to get them to get along, despite the fact that most of them really hate each other. Thank you, Eraser. Yeah, I think the computer fund at this point is somewhere, I think it's like 820 or 1823 or something like that. Which is driving me a little crazy because I have a whole thing about odd numbers. Or, you know, at least fives. So I am very happy to the person that gave me $8, but I think maybe they were just trying to give me a hard time. Yes, so let's see. This was just going to be a test run. I didn't expect to see so many people here, so... Hanayama, thank you for coming. 30 Bird, I don't think you have been here before, so... welcome. This is not normally my cup of tea. I'm having issues with my regular computer, so everything is having to run through my work computer. And so I'm trying to find out what my work computer can actually handle so that I don't, you know, wreck it completely in the middle of a regular stream. Eraser, our super mod, is here as always with my goat fund, which I really, really appreciate. And Legatus, the other super mod. I am quite convinced that both of them really just exist inside the computer because they are always here. They are like, here you go, Eraser. You are Kosh from Babylon 5. You have always been here. I saw someone else come in a little bit later. Wormy Spoons is here. Wormy, I almost never see you in the evenings anymore. It's really good to see you. And Rachel? Absolutely delighted to see you. I will coax you into a game someday. Hat, welcome! For some reason, I thought you were working. It's good to see you. Hope things are going well. Oh, sweet. You're from the Talking Crit Discord. Awesome. They're really nice people. I really like them over there. Yes, you were here before either of the super mods. That is especially impressive considering that Eraser knew I was going to do this because I was going to have him check sound for me. So this is a little bit of a cheat because I kind of know what the good startup ones are because, like I said, I've played this a lot. Oh, I probably shouldn't be doing the skipping so you guys can actually see the different things, but starting out with the introductions always is a really good way to kind of boost getting them to get along. She is probably my least favorite in this entire thing. She's the only one with, like, no skills whatsoever. But yeah, you get... So you have the group morale, and then you have, like, the individual relationships between people. And sometimes dropping one increases another. And it can be kind of a pain, but... That's true. Legatus is very frequently the first ever. Legatus has been known to show up to my streams like 4 days before they actually start. Oh, sweet. I not only got 3 of the same class, but the one that isn't, gets the likable skill, which I've never gotten on her before. Which means it'll be a little bit easier to get her to get along with everyone. So, this, oh, I guess it isn't caught up on the actual stream yet. You come up with strength for the next day, and this line over here is whether or not you've managed to keep them successfully working and getting along together. If they're injured or if they like start to hate the group, the number of actions they can take will decrease. And especially early in the game, losing even one can be a real bad. I get there when I get there. Hi, Natty. Are you asking what the game is? Hey, Tat, welcome. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, so there should be music, there should be sound effects, and there should be my voice. The lag is really terrible, I gotta say. There is a there is a huge gap between what I'm seeing in the actual game and what you guys are seeing. But again, for this game, considering it can be taken kind of slowly, I guess that's not too bad. Yes, you're wondering what the game is? The game is Help Will Come Tomorrow. It's a historical game that takes place right around World War I, shortly after, I think. The Tsar has just abdicated his throne, and there's kind of rebellion and uprisings everywhere, and terrorists have just bombed a train, resulting in the 4 survivors getting stuck out in the wilderness, so. But, let's see. I don't know if I have the capability to cook anything. It doesn't look like it. So they're gonna eat all the gross stuff. This can be a little tricky because they're not only are they kind of random, but they also get like random pros and cons, and one of them is that like they can end up with sour stomachs, so trying to feed them anything, you can end up with a sick player that won't do anything. Hey Patrick, welcome! Oh, Hanayama-san is a wizard? Yeah. I mean, he might be a wizard anyway. He's already a giant. Why not be a giant wizard? Oh, fudge. I just gave them both indigestion. Oh well. Oops, nope. That wasn't what I wanted to do. That's what I want to do. And this is how we get more stuff. This is my chance of getting... Oops, never mind, we aren't there yet. I'll wait till you guys are caught up. Red mushrooms are poisonous. That's why I dropped them. This is my chance of getting lost. If I get lost, I die. Especially this early in the game. Sometimes you can survive getting lost later, but... you also never know how many actions you're going to end up losing. So you have to really keep an eye on... Because sometimes you can go places and not lose any actions. And sometimes you'll lose a whole bunch all at the same time. Come on, folks. I need food here, not... Wood I've got. I need food. Oh, excellent. I did get some clay. Clay is nice because that will allow me to actually cook food. I usually kind of zip through all this, like, beginning stuff. And I keep trying to remember to slow down for you guys so you can see what I'm doing. Hanayama-san is a very grumpy Hagrid. I mean... What do you think? Are you a grumpy Hagrid? Alright, I'm not taking any chances. Okay, so I should be able... Oops. Do. I've just realized that probably the reason I thought you guys weren't hearing me was that apparently my voice must be lagging way behind too, right? Okay, I feel like there's a story here, Hanayama-san. You can find shit cross-continent? You have to explain this to me. Yeah, I know. It's hard for you to tell what's lagging since you only see end results. Yeah, I don't quite know how to tell. Other than, I guess, for me to say, like, you know, hit a 1 when you hear me say, you know, now. So, everyone get your finger on the 1 button and hit a 1 when you hear me right now. Okay, so you guys are about 6 seconds behind, I think. Wait? Wait! What are we waiting? Okay, Hanayama-san, that's not wizardry, that's... I don't know. An oracle or something? Alright, those ones were really spread out. Are we gonna have to do this again? Well, I'm not sure it is 6 to 7 seconds, though, because it seems like there was maybe some more delay for some than others. Okay, Natty, are your glasses always in the same spot every time? That seems like the only possible answer. Hat comes in like a minute after everyone else. So they were in different spaces every time, and still somehow he knew where they were every time. Like, first guess knew every time? Once I asked him and found them 5 seconds later. It's just so weird. Yeah, that's not wizardry. That's, I don't know. Definitely something else. I don't know what to think of that. So this has been running for, what, 25 minutes? And we haven't crashed or lagged any worse than I expected. It's magic. I'm trying to decide whether or not I dare, like, try a game that's got more, you know, oomph to it, or whether or not I should just see if this can go for like an hour without the entire system dying completely. There are only so many places your glasses could be, and he gets lucky. It's not like Natty 3 miles south of your location, 2 miles east behind a bush are your glasses. Yeah, I have to say, I think it's kind of somewhere in the middle. Because in my case, yeah, my glasses can only be in a couple of locations because I am absolutely blind without them. But, like, my husband doesn't really need his glasses all that much. He only needs them, like, to drive. And so they just kind of end up, you know, all over the house. Yeah, and we don't even have children actively attempting to hide them. I think he's accusing Hanayama-san of spying on you there, Natty. So what do you think, chat? Do we consider this a successful experiment? We haven't really figured out what the lag is yet. It occurs to me, I play through this the same way, like, all the time. What I should do is get you guys to, like, decide what I'm gonna have them do, because it might be more interesting that way. Now we know what a racer gets up to in his spare time. Oh, our camp morale is not doing very well. As if I have free time. I know, he's so busy modding for like 40 million channels. How's he supposed to have time? Number 3, I am elected to lead, not to read. Alright, somebody's gonna have to explain that one to me. Explain it to me like I am 5. Hey, Jack. I'm experimenting. You're here just in time for me to try and do another figure out how much of a lag there is in this game. The experiment was whether or not my computer would explode if I attempted to do this. This is the simplest, graphics-wise, this is the simplest, lowest energy game I have access to, so. Oh, I have never seen the Simpsons movie. This explains why I did not get the reference. Alright, I'm gonna send out an expedition, and then we're gonna do another check on see what the lag looks like. Everybody ready? Alright. From when I say now, everyone hit a 1, and I'm gonna count seconds. So, now. Alright, this is either absolutely unacceptable lag or... Wow, that was terrible. I mean, I stopped counting at like 20 seconds because I thought you guys are messing with me. And then they all popped up. Whew. Oh dear. Alright. So lag is... Okay, so those of you that do this more often than me, is the lag on YouTube's end or my end or OBS or what causes the problem? Hat, I'm pretty sure you're just messing with me. Juana's in the chat. I won. As in you won messing with me? There's a pass-through delay of about 10 to 20 seconds. Okay, so I'm not too far out that then. I think I'm a little bit more than that. It does make it really hard to talk about... Well, I don't know, because I don't know if my voice and the game are both the same amount of time behind. So I don't know if talking about the game works for you guys or not. Little column A, little column B. Jack had a 30-minute lag in reading chats during Monday's chat battle. Jack, are you ignoring the chat? Pretty sure there's a blurb for that. Something about streamer, streamer. Pay attention to the chat, streamer. Alright, so we're going to find out whether or not my voice and the game are behind at the same amount of time. because that will give me some thoughts. Let me hit the end of this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get to the end of this day. And I'm going to hit end of day, and you're going to tell me whether or not the now hits at the same time I click. Now. Okay, thank you, Jack. It seemed for a while like people were hearing me faster than things were happening in the game. That was why I was... That was why I was curious. This is a gaming stream, by the way. I mean, this is a test stream, not a gaming stream, because this would be a very boring game for a gaming stream. Unless I could figure out a way to make it more, I don't know, chat-friendly. But yeah, if it was something super fast-paced, I think I would probably have a hard time doing both. Oh, I thought for a minute Legatus was saying that I was talking faster, but 30 Bird says I'm in sync, so awesome. Alright, sweet. So I guess then talking about the game is fine, because you will... It won't make any sense to me, but it'll make sense to you guys. It's a test stream that happens to involve a game, Legatus. I'm not sure that I consider it an actual gaming stream. Count down from 3 to 1 and then click on something visual. If the click happens at 1, you're synced. I think the consensus seems to be that I am synced, because when I hit said now and change the day over, everybody seemed to say, well, the few people who commented seemed to say that they was in sync. Just talk about good Babylon 5 as well playing the game. But then I'll run out of things to say once we finally badgered Jacob into doing a Babylon 5 stream. Everyone will already have heard what I have to say. So what do you think? Do we want... I'm going to have you guys, like, pick, because I know what answers are the ones that don't end up in disaster, so it might be kind of fun to actually see what some of the other answers are. So what do you think? The Diary, Let's Check the Northern River, A Taste of Mystery, Crash and Slaughter, or Let's Wait for the Patrol? What's your choice? And then I have to wait 10 to 20 seconds for everybody to be able to hear me. There's always more to be said about Babylon 5. I mean, I could show that picture I sent you the other day of Jakar smoking a cigarette. Alright, we have 1 vote for the Northern River. We have 11 people watching, so... Hanayama-san can't be the only one with an opinion, despite how opinionated he is. Show and tell? Well, now I'm confused. That isn't even an option. Alright, we'll go with the Northern River. Why should we stick in the forest in this cold when we were still driving? A bend of the river could be seen to the north. We have to get to it. Well, that's the whole point, Jack, is that you kind of don't know and it's a matter of guessing. And I always tend to choose the same answers, and that gets really boring, so I thought I'd let you guys choose some answers. I think it's Selenga or some influent of it. Anyway, all the rivers in the area flow into Bakal. I'm probably butchering these names, but forgive me. That's what I'm talking about. We'll build a raft, and the next thing we'll be able to see is... I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. A raft on the icebound river? Let's discuss this idea. What do we got? Raft or discuss the idea? I do happen to know that discussing the idea gives you like a side quest, basically. I think the delay thing is going to drive me crazier than anyone else. Waiting is not something I'm terribly good at. Alright. This was Hanayama-san's choice, so we'll let him play it through. Well, at least let's look for the river and check the ice condition. After all, it's autumn. Maybe the river will be navigatable. Which one leads to dysentery? In this game, all roads can lead to dysentery. You never know. And if it's covered with hard ice, we can build a sleigh. Traveling down the river can be feasible even without a team. This is not so stupid. How is that for a backhanded compliment? So we have our little dam at the river, check the river float northwest of the camp. And you have 7 days to do it, otherwise it just goes away. Alright, Natty, you get to pick the next one. 1 foot in the grave, wait for the patrol, move to the train wreck, lucky charm, or crash and slaughter. Man, Jack and Hanayama-san agreed on something. Come on, Natty. Has to have been 20 seconds by now. Choices. There are no numbers. Unless let's move to the train wreck could be considered number 3. I'm bad at thinking. There's really no thinking involved. It's just kind of like, yes, let's move to the train. Okay. Being in the woods is stupidity. We don't have a decent roof or walls. We are sitting on some makeshift... What do you suggest? Call a coach and order an apartment at Frenchman's? Man, she's supposed to be the likable one. Stop teasing me rudely. I suggest we move to the hideout to one of the cars. We will be better protected from the wind there. But not from the thugs. Or, okay, let's think about it. Alright, Natty. You worried about thugs, or you want to think about moving to the train? Thinking is overrated. I'm letting Natty make the decision. I was in a game with you yesterday, Natty. I know you can make good decisions. Better than the rest of us, apparently. You didn't even burn a building down. Alright. Worried about the thugs. Maybe from the blizzard, but not from the thugs. We will draw their attention as soon as we light a fire, and without fire we will not filter water or survive the frost. Well, you always have to know better. Well, we lost some points on this one, but honestly, she kind of deserved it. Camp morale is not very good, though, and... Oh, we've lost a couple of... We've lost a couple of action points, so we need to figure out how to get some people some rest here. Yeah, cold does suck. Oh, now you're changing it. Now you were just thinking it out loud. Well, too late. We've already moved on. Yeah, raw eggs are not great. Alright. I might have to get into the bugs. I'm not sure I've ever had to feed them bugs before. She is the one that always seems to be cold the most. I still forgot to mute the mic for my husband to be silly. That's alright. It was kind of fun having him be silly. Yeah, I think I may have to, because she's like... I mean, she's not in starvation mode, but I'd prefer she not. There we go. If you can make a fire, the cold is no problem. Dealing with thugs when you're cold might be a problem. Yeah, the lady in the purple dress, though, it's like a consistent thing with her in this game. She is always, freezing. Like, the only way you get her not... Oh, shoot. Wow. The only way you get her not freezing is to, like, basically find a really, really heavy jacket. I don't usually waste actions on fraternizing either, but holy cow, these people hate each other more than usual. Breaking woman cold more at 11. She's worse than most in this game, though. And actually, amusingly, in my house, I think my husband actually is cold more frequently than I am. I mean, I thought about it before I put a sweatshirt on to do chores this morning. And when I got goop on my hands, I washed my hands in the snow. Unfortunately, I then went to pick up a bucket with a metal handle and my hands froze to the handle. So that was kind of annoying. I told my husband, thank goodness I wasn't live stream. He then asked when I was joining the next one. I mean, if I could figure out how to invite people to OBS, you know, you'd be absolutely welcome to jump in here. You can make all my decisions for me. Yeah, honey, Emma-san, the cold thing, I would say 5 degrees I would probably still have a sweatshirt on. But the wind was what was really bad this morning. Hey, Dadman! We are checking to find out my computer has not exploded yet. This is the work laptop, which is not really designed for any streaming stuff, but I just figured I would see what it was capable of doing, since it is currently the only thing I have to make anything work. This never works, but... At some point I might find weapons. Then we can get some rabbit meat. Ooh, that was a good haul. Return to camp. Before we lose it all! Yeah, I suspect your idea of wind might be different than mine. Wind here can be very, very brutal. Ugh. I hate doing this, but the camp morale is so low, I feel like I don't really have a choice. Oh, great. Now I have 2 that get cold faster. This character is of small build and receives negative effects from cold faster. Tailor. Character has a chance to recover AP while making clothes and the sack. The sack. I have no idea what that's in reference to, but... And she's also gaunt. Wonderful. So I was right. They're both starved and... They're both starved and gonna be freezing to death. If I didn't have to put extra force in my step, then the wind was not strong. I kind of did this morning. It wasn't really whipping. But it would come up really suddenly. Cold is cold. I mean, I kind of disagree. Like, if it's just air cold, I kind of get used to it. But the wind, it's like, it like hits you from different sides and it's unexpected and... Alright, Dadman, since you just got here, you get to make the next choice. Anna's voyage, let's wait for the patrol, the diary, crash and slaughter, or to the other side. Hanayama-san, like, small bears are smaller and lighter than you, so I'm not really sure that counts. Damp cold is bad too. Yeah, damp cold is bad, terrible. What the fuck is this game called? Misery Simulator? I mean, kind of, yeah. Though, on the times I've actually managed to do really well, it's kind of funny, because you end the game probably better off than some of them started the game. Anna's Voyage. Alright. Anna's the lady in purple that everybody hates. That was B-Side's working title. Alright, Anna, why did you leave St. Petersburg? That is probably not a question for the current circumstances. I try to ease the atmosphere. What is left if not a social chat? What is left to us? The right to privacy. Ooh, she is bitchy. Earlier, you mentioned something about the prince and the proposal. What woman would not like to talk about it? Silence. Fair enough. Maybe I'll at least warm up talking. In the capital, Prince Anatoly... anyone know how to speak Russian? Made advances to me. He offered us shelter when we had to leave our residence after the abdication of the Tsar. Let me guess, a prince, so he's probably young and beautiful. He was old, fat, lame, and nasty. He smelled like a horse and laughed the same way. To be honest, this camp seems more attractive to me than a knight in his arms. Dadman says, was streaming next to a waterfall when it was 15 to 20 degrees. Hands froze, even my knees got cold wearing shorts. Well, I mean, it was 20 degrees and you were wearing shorts, so that might have something to do with that. Alright. Eraser, next choice. Maria's Dream, wait for the patrol, let's negotiate with renegades to the other side, or crash and slaughter. Maria's Dream, I know, is another side quest. I don't remember any of the others. Let's get dreamy. Alright. I dreamed of Pieta today. I know he's alive and still hiding on the train. Alright, Eraser, did he talk to you in the dream, or nonsense? Look, the unlikable bitch has an option for being an unlikable bitch. Who would have guessed? I need, like, a countdown here. Poppycock. Poppycock at least would seem less insulting than nonsense, I think. Did who talk? What? Eraser, you're supposed to be telling me whether or not you want... Oh, you are asked... Okay, never mind. I got it. I'm stupid. Ignore me. Your brother talked to you in the dream? I don't want to sound mocking, but do such things actually happen? I just know he's alive. I don't feel, I don't think, don't believe, I just know. He's small, he can hide anywhere. He can get out of sight if necessary. He had many hiding places in the sleeping car. Promise me we will go after him. If he's alive. Promise I would not leave anyone in our group to their own fate, I swear. Alright, so looking for tracks is our new side quest. And interestingly, we got actions back for these two, but not for this one. She's lost one now. Yeah, I was just a little slow on that, Eraser and Jack. I'm just, you know, kind of dumb. I'm stupid. No, water the crew here. And everybody is really hungry, so... Oh. One of the eggs rotted. That's alright, nobody liked the eggs anyway. I don't know why they give you eggs so early in the game, because they're next to impossible to actually, cook until later in the game, because you have to be able to hunt, because you have to have lard, or it won't let you cook them. I do not understand why, I don't understand why fried eggs are apparently the only option, but, you know. Unlocked the search for a small corpse. There apparently is supposed to be an option. I don't know. I don't know if it's rumor, but I think there's actually supposed to be an option for finding him. But I have never managed to do it. Whoops. I overshot. You can't boil water and hard boil the egg. Yeah, you can't. The only option is for fried eggs, so you have to have lard. No lard, no eggs. Alright. I think we're getting to the point where we have enough food that I'm going to ditch these bugs. So, let's go looking for the kid. Send the cranky old lady out. Oh, I had a 50-50 shot. I got it right. It's been a while since the crash, and the car of the Couchette class you reach is all covered with snow. This part of the train suffered greatly during the robbery. The renegades blew up the span preceding it. The Couchette derailed, and the carriages pushing at the back broke in half. Passengers traveling inside had no chance of survival. Maria, however, knows that Petra did not travel in the coachette. She initiated you into her plan. On both sides of the car, there were luggage rooms in which her brother knew various hiding places. If he survived the catastrophe, he might have left a message for her there. Peter and Marie came up with a code to communicate when they didn't... Maria came up with a code to communicate when they didn't want to be overheard by the passengers or the rest of the rail service. So you searched the indicated places. Of course, all valuable items were plundered by the renegades long ago, but you still find an overlooked set of warm clothing. Ooh, warm clothing. And a few useful things. Unfortunately, no message. According to Maria's guidelines, you draw a few cipher characters in case Petra looks in this place. That's all you can do right now. Yay, coats. Ooh. Yes, this is definitely Russia, because cigarettes and vodka are still considered valuable resources. No matter how dangerous things get. Alright, it's getting a little dangerous here at this point, but we're going to take one more, and then we're going to go back. That was not a very good haul. I was hoping to get more... Material is one of those things that is super necessary later on, and I was really hoping to get more, but we got enough to make a third bed, which is kind of vital at this point. Eh. Come on, lady. Set up some tent covering. So you can have two people work together for the loss of one action point, or you can have one person do the whole thing and they lose all of their action points. So, now we can get ahead of people needing rest. Alright, who hasn't made a decision yet? Jack, I don't think you've made one. So, Jack, to the other side, let's wait for the patrol, the diary, Anna is freezing, or crash and slaughter. Is Jack still here? Otherwise, I'll have to pick a second choice. Five, 4, 3. I think Jack left us. He's gonna miss the search for the small corpse. Are we stuck? Okay, so I'm still coming through. Jack, could you hear me asking you to make a choice? Uh-oh, has the end finally hit? Something's gone wrong? Alright, something seems to have gone wrong, so let me see if I can figure out what it is. Oh. The word is being filtered in the chat. Okay. I was gonna say that was the only word I could think of that would have been. Yeah, it must have been edited out because I didn't see anything. We were saved from the disaster and avoided the slaughter. It's unthinkable. Do you know if anyone else has survived? The train was derailed with dynamite. Shortly afterwards, the attackers blew up one of the rear cars where the soldiers were traveling. They must have known where to hit. They then shot survivors without mercy. Those who have survived could hide in the woods or somewhere in the wreck. We must stay together until help arrives. We are in the middle of the Siberian, without appropriate clothes and food, surrounded by thugs after us. How much longer can we survive in such conditions? 1, 2 days at the most. Hey, Ben! In that case, let's hope that help will come tomorrow. That's the name of the movie! Ben, you're here just in time! You get to pick a category. Let's negotiate with renegades, wait for the patrol, Lucky Charm, to the other side, or Anna is freezing. Hey, Davy! Davy, have you been lurking all this time? Gamer Goat. Yeah, no, this is mainly a can my computer run OBS for, an hour or two without dying. The 16-year-old computer will not even acknowledge that OBS exists, so this is the work laptop, which is designed pretty much for Word and not much else. I'm rather stunned it's held up this well. Oh, interesting. The numbers on my thing didn't change. I thought maybe you guys had been lurking. Ben, do you have a choice for me? Yes, this is Help Will Come Tomorrow. That was why I made the joke about that's the name of the movie. Which, if you've ever seen a pitch meeting skit, you would get. I can't tell if Ben is deciding or Just refusing to participate. Wait for the patrol. Okay. Let's just take a breath and think about it. The train didn't reach the next station, right? Railway employees must expect us and send a patrol. So what? So they can't find us here. Rescue may be any moment and we must give them a sign. Alright, Ben, we have to hide or let's discuss it. Still need to paint my balls red and green. So Ben, are we hiding or discussing leaving a sign for the next patrol? Have to hide, okay? Are you crazy? We have to hide from the renegades. Or maybe we'll give them smoke signs pointing straight to camp. Not that tone. I mean, you can go east and look for the railway guards. Man, these two are like getting ready to catfight any minute here. Can we? And you? Someone must guard the camp. Ooh, Ben gets lots of choices. Nonsense. No one will come anyway, or this is not so stupid. What a wonderfully backhanded way of saying, well, you're not a total idiot. The funny thing is, Maria was supposed to have the likable skill, but for some reason she and Anna have... like, every possible response, she and Anna have been at each other's throats. This is kind of fun not making the same decisions all the time. Rigged. What's rigged? Things not being stupid or no one coming anyway? Or are you still focused on Jack's balls? Ben, am I picking nonsense or this is not so stupid? I'm just gonna pick one in a minute. This is not so stupid. That works well, because that's the one I was gonna pick. Okay, that's not so stupid, but remember, we're in the middle of the Trans-Siberian Railway, and the next station is just a patch of dirt. Don't expect rescue from the military squad, a few old men who should have retired a long time ago. Oh, I think that might be the first time they have not hated each other at the end of the... Camp morale is still not great, though. But at least we have all our actions back. Good job, Ben. Nope, something else rotted, but I don't know what it was. Oh, shoot. Is Hat still in the chat? I have not done anything to actually build up a... Hey, Bear! Welcome. Pardon me for 2 seconds. My cat desperately would like to go out. She's apparently gotten locked in my office. And since the choices are let her out or let her clean off my desk for me. Who is starving to death today? Several people. Limelight, welcome. We're making choices to find out whether or not people are going to starve or not. I don't think I have an actual cook yet. That's kind of a pain. Hey, Hat! You're making the next decisions, so... I thought I'd try giving you a heads up. See if that works better. Get in the side quest here. Let's see if I can get in the side quest without getting shot. Side quest. Complete. Oh, shoot. Return to camp. Send an expedition that isn't freezing to death all that quickly. Man, I don't think I have ever had this game have so little, like, food options. It's fine, Hat. You're just making decisions that, you know, may result in the end of this game and, you know, all of these innocent people being murdered. What could go wrong? Oh, I actually managed to, like, catch a rabbit. I can count on one hand the number of times I've ever succeeded at that before. All right. I still don't think I have enough stuff to... Sugar pops. That's annoying. Well, we'll try and set some snares instead then. Nope, I won't, because I don't have enough sticks. I can set up makeshift snares. I don't know if you guys are really good luck or really bad luck, because there's been some stuff here that's been much harder than it normally is in this game. Like, the supplies are real bad in this game right this time. Thank you, Dadman. I'm glad you were here. Yeah, I've been I think I've been a little bit over an hour and it hasn't crashed yet, so next time I'll try something that's got a little bit more graphics power and see if it dies on me. I figure if I make it to like, I don't know, 90 minutes or so. Because, well, I don't know. Most of my streams are 2 hours. So if this makes it to 90 minutes to 2 hours, then I'll consider it a success. And then some other time I will, when I have time, I will try something that's got a little more power. Though I have to say, I can't think what I've got on here that will run well. I have several games that I bought and then immediately couldn't do anything with because they would not run on the laptop. And that was without OBS running. Hey, Rio! Alright, Hat, you're up. A Taste of Mystery, Anna is Freezing, Lady Talks, To the Other Side, or The Diary? Hat has run away in fear. Decisions? I don't want to make decisions. Rio, while we're waiting on Hat, how are you? Is 30 Bird still here? Gimme a Taste of Mystery. I don't think I've ever clicked on this one. There are a lot of these I haven't really. Sir Edward, didn't we meet a few times in the restaurant car? Dear madam, it would be hard not to pass at least once. I remember you very well. I didn't impose my company because you looked busy with your worries. Please forgive my inquisitiveness, but I've noticed you order only Western dishes. I understand you can be fed up with well-known dishes, but I don't believe that even an extremely progressive culinary inhabitant of Russia will not be tempted by a stroganoff soup in the autumn, or will not drink hot borscht to a meal. Well, we have different tastes, I suppose. And won't order caviar even once. This seems suspicious to me. Alright, Hat, you figured me out, or caviar is not a real Russian dish. Yes, I am on later tonight. For the normal stretch. Yum borscht. Borscht is like beet soup, right? I've had it, but I don't think it was actually called borscht in the United States. It was just, you know, beet soup. Yeah, I love beets. We did not get any with our kind of winter supplies this year, which was kind of a disappointment to me, but my husband is not crazy about them, so. Hat, are you still with us? I mean, a soup is not a soup unless it has onions in it. I'm trying to think if there's any soup I make that does not have onions. I used to make a beef and beet soup in the crock pot. When it was great when I had long days, just throw everything in first thing in the morning, come back to dinner being made. It was wonderful. Alright, I need to figure out who's still here while Hat's making this decision. Is 30 Bird still here? I have not seen you for a while. I haven't seen Rachel for a while. I haven't seen Wormy Spoons for a while. I haven't seen Tat. I only saw Tat once, actually, so I don't know if he just bopped in to say hey and say, yeah, the stream seems to be working, or... I haven't seen Patrick for a bit. I gotta know who's gonna make all my decisions for me, you know. And then I'm sure I have people lurking, but they're lurking, so I don't know. Buttered sweet corn soup with no onions. I mean, just the idea of a buttered sweet corn soup sounds delicious no matter what. I need a recipe now. Caviar is too pedestrian for the likes of these starving folk. It is not a real meal, much like early picked fruit is not proper fruit. I guess he's saying caviar is not a real Russian dish. I think our socially progressive comrades would explain to you caviar is not a real Russian dish. What counts is groats and bacon. You're joking with me, my lady, and I just want to keep the conversation going. You are extremely perceptive, and sometimes I wonder if anything on the train escaped your attention. We can certainly be reconciled with our love of chai, or if you prefer it, tea. Indeed, this is one of the areas in which I'm a real expert. We need Tommy for this one. I think there are many such areas. I think they're flirting. I will immodestly admit that you are right. Huh. I had never picked that one before, and I did not realize that he hits on the old lady. The stream delay is brutal today. Yeah, I'm kind of noticing that. Wormy, you ready to make some decisions? Yeah, I think we figured it was about 20 seconds, but I almost feel like it's gotten longer. Jack is here. Jack, have you made decisions yet? I can't remember if you made decisions or just bounced in on other people's. I think you did, though. I need more caffeine. Criminally, I only had enough coffee for 1 cup this morning. And yeah, this was kind of what I had worried about, as I was a little worried about whether or not this was going to hold at all, and whether or not the stream delay was going to be terrible. Fry sweet corn kernels in butter and then add water, simmer for an hour, pass through a sieve, then reduce and finish with cream and black pepper. Oh, so it's like literally nothing except corn. Interesting. Alright, Wormy, do you want Lucky Charm, Anna is freezing, Edward and Betty to the other side, or 1 foot in the grave? Eraser? That's disgusting. Alright, when I got on the train, something told me it was my last trip. Ooh, you get to make more decisions too. Does Anna say this is normal at this age, or we will come out of this alive? How much of a bitch is Anna? Never said I was proud of it. I mean, you definitely shouldn't be. I think the only person I have ever known to drink instant coffee was my Nana, and she would put like 3 times the amount of instant coffee in it called for. You could smell it. Normal. So Anna's a wicked bitch. Well, you didn't come up with anything new here. At this age, everyone thinks about final things. Ha! Accurately and without beating around the bush, I am no spring chicken, and I have outlived all my relatives. Nothing good is waiting for me on this earth, I suppose. I've never picked that choice either. And she gets the trait melancholy. The character spreads doom and gloom. The calculation is simple. There is not enough food. There are many mouths to feed. It would be simpler if I were dead. And don't tell me you haven't thought of it. And yet, there is this weakness in men that forces them to push their luggage. Inability to finish everything once and for all. The cowardice of survival. I know I would not be able to take my own life. So I promise you that as long as I breathe, I will be as light a burden as possible. Don't worry about my grumbling, and don't waste the best bits on me. Huh. Man, I've been missing all sorts of, like, interesting conversations in this game. Thank you for the warning, Jack. Hanayama-san, I've also only had 1 cup of coffee. It was 24.5-ounce cup, but still only 1 cup. Yeah, I mean, usually I have a pot. Which, well, it's like a 5-cup pot, not a 10-cup pot, but... But yeah, that's alright. At least I had enough. Ooh, we are running out of water. I think there is an option for basically burning the rabbit so that it doesn't go to waste. That's not what I wanted. Cut it out. Wow, it takes 2 actions to roast a rabbit. That is crazy. My pour-over and percolator are staring at me like, am I a joke to you? Alright, we need some water. We're gonna need lots of water, actually. So we might as well use her motions up. So which one do you prefer, Eraser? Do you have a preference on pour over versus? I know Yarny is really big on, I know Yarny's big on the pour-over, and I've been doing the pour-over, but I do have to say that it's a lot easier to do the regular drip coffee. Ooh, a French press. I've never heard of using a French press for tea. That's interesting. Is it like loose leaf tea? Alright, I gotta send somebody out for sticks. The lack of sticks is killing me here. Lady, you said you weren't gonna be a burden. Go get me some sticks. Those aren't sticks. Those are bugs. Good lord. Loose leaf, add a bit, hot water, away you go. What do you use for... What do you use for tea? I know there's some very strong feelings about, like, what makes for good tea around here. Oh, finally some sticks. French press works well. So, Hat, what do you use for tea? I didn't even know you were a tea drinker. Pour-over I have is smaller, so it's perfect for a quick cup or two, but the percolator I have is pretty big and makes some really smooth coffee. Oh, nice. Yeah, my pour-over isn't that big either. It's 8 cups, I think, or something like that, which is really enough for, like, 2 people, to be realistic. Oh, these two finally started getting along. Excellent. Bag or two of loose leaf from Austin Peterson from time to time. I like jasmine tea and Earl Grey. My mother is an enormous Earl Grey fan. She absolutely loves it. I have always preferred, like, Irish breakfast tea if I'm going to drink black tea. But, alright, UK people, remind me, what is the name of the tea that you guys are all nuts about? Something gold. Alright. I think Tat and 30 seem to be gone. Legatus, have you made decisions for me yet? Yeah, Irish breakfast tea is great. Yorkshire Gold, that's what I was trying to think of. Yes, thank you. I drink caffeine, coffee, tea, and things like them. Black tea or chamomile for me. I mean, chamomile theoretically should help you sleep, but, you know, apparently nothing helps you sleep, so. Has Legatus disappeared on me? I have more people and less talking. I love green tea, but do not make it... You should not make it in the French press, or you just don't. Like, is there something about it that makes it bad in 500 milligram edible helps you sleep? Earl Grey is proper posh. Bit of an acquired taste. Yeah, there is nothing posh about me. I deal with mud and goats. Like, I am definitely far more Irish breakfast tea personality than I am an Earl Grey personality. Am lurking at racing horse girls. Davey, does that mean I can't have you make decisions this time? You're gonna have to let me know when you have a break, because you're gonna have to make a decision. Rio's lurking. I heard tea and it gave me whiplash to come back here. Alright, Davyverse, while you're here then, you're gonna make some decisions for me. Do I pick the diary, Anna is freezing, Edward and Betty, ladies talk, or to the other side? Hat, you and Hanayama-san have lots in common. What's your choice, Davy? Ladies talk. I mean, so far it's been ladies catfighting, but... Anna says, you cough again. I'm sick, so it's normal. It's probably normal that I cough. Forgive me, but I think you feel sorry for yourself too much. We all suffer the same. We are all freezing and everyone is catching a cold. By the way, I don't hide the sounds... I don't hide that the sounds you make don't help in sleeping. Davy, do you agree with Anna or do you bite back? Do we have one bitch in this group or two? Let's see if they compare boobs. Goddamn catty group. Yeah, man, I normally that's the female to male ratio isn't quite so high, but I didn't realize it was going to make it quite such a bitchy bunch. Davey kind of makes a good point that the old lady must have a corset on or something, because... Davey, are you agreeing or fighting? If I don't get an answer, I'm going for bite back, because I've never picked that one before. Yeah, that's what I meant. She's got to have a corset on or something. Alright, fighting it is. I understand that this disturbs you especially because you sleep the longest from all of us. Whew! I don't intend to be rude. I just remind you that we are all suffering. If I was your age, miss, I would probably bite my tongue more often. Alright, excuse me or excuse me, I don't know how you endure this nightmare. It is amazing how much excuse me can have different meanings depending on whether or not it's a question mark or an exclamation point. Are we still fighting? Actually, I don't know which one of these would be fighting. I don't know if it's excuse me or excuse me. Meanwhile, you have poor Sir Edward over here just going, oh, fuck. Option 1? Alright. Excuse me, do you think I'm overly sensitive about myself? Self-pity is a luxury, and you, miss, apparently can't do without luxuries. Ooh. Ooh. This game may end terribly, but man, the conversations are way more fun than the ones I'm used to having. Bear, are you here? Yeah, I know, right? Woo! Those are like Winston Churchill level insults. Yeah, poor Sir Edward sitting there freezing, starving, while these hussies snipe at each other with bitter words. To the other side! Alright, Bear came prepared. Now that we have explored the river, we must decide what to do next. Wow, that was a while ago. What's next? After all, we finally let go of this path. Relax, we already know that a raft or sleigh trip down the river is a misguided idea, but we still have another option. Upstream or straight to the grave? No, it's about crossing to the other bank. There shouldn't be any renegades there after all. We will set up a new camp and be able to burn fire without fear. And we'll sit in the woods like this until March? Have mercy. After all, we still have some hope for help here. And there bears will come for us at the most. You're probably right. Aw, now they're sad. At least they're not as sad as they were. Oh, I was thinking metaphysical the other side, like dying. I mean, they did discuss being eaten by bears. So, I mean, it's kind of appropriate that you were here. Oof. Gotta fix this quick. Do some repairs while we're here. Actually, no, I'm almost out of those. I thought women liked bears. I don't think they like being eaten by bears. I think there's a difference there. Oh, I still need more sticks. Ooh, breaking material. I have to use an entire action to break some branches into sticks. That's not frustrating or anything. Yeah, snow can act as an insulator pilot on top of the tent. I run into that issue with the animals. People talk all the time about, oh, we didn't have a lot of snow this winter. You must have been really happy. And I was like, no. Because it's actually harder to keep animals, like, going when there's, hang on, repair. It's actually harder to keep animals in a season where it's, there's a lot of cold and ice versus when there's a lot of snow. I mean, in a pinch, animals will eat snow and if their water freezes. Alright, somebody needs to make some soup here. Do we have enough water for soup? We don't even have enough water for soup. Well, this hasn't gone well. You've been making everyone miserable. Go make some soup. Oop, something else rotted. Damn it. There, now you're well fed. Uh-oh. Hand wound. Well, I guess I better hurry up and actually make the quarantine point then, huh? Because I have not been able to get enough stuff together to do this. This is the one that always gets to me, is that it's very hard to make the quarantine point. And if somebody gets injured before you get to it, it is really an issue. So, let's go see if we can find some materials and hope she doesn't lose her hand before, hope she doesn't lose her hand before the end, before we're able to find stuff. Sometimes it can, like, take forever for them to, develop issues, and sometimes it's like the next turn. Yes, I can make water, but I only have so many action points, Bear. So they're filtering out, they filter out the water, and that's fine. But I have to deal with what I have for, let's see, I need wound dressing, which is this one. Okay. So what am I gonna need next turn? Oh, luckily wound dressing doesn't take too much. Excellent. So we'll let everybody take a nap until tomorrow and hope that everybody's feeling better tomorrow. Okay. Rio, are you here? Ready for some decision making? I need to know who's lurking, because I need some decision makers here. And I definitely have to have lots of lurkers, because only about half of you are in the chat. You guess you're here? I guess, therefore I am. Alright, let's negotiate with renegades. Edward and Betty. Anna is freezing. The diary or Lucky Charm? What's your choice? Alright, let's let Anna bitch about the cold some more. Can we add more wood to the fire? I can't stand this cold anymore. To tell you the truth, I was thinking the same. That's unreasonable. If we burn the wood, we'll be warm for one day. And what will we do tomorrow? We're in the woods. Wood is everywhere. But most of it is soaked. Well, that explains why I haven't been able to find any. Alright, you get to play as Edward. Are you going to support the old lady, or are you going to support Anna in her build up a bonfire? What's your choice, Rio? Oh, Mr. Hat's leaving us. Hat, I hope you have a good afternoon. Swing back by through at 7 for Slice and Dice if you're interested. Hope to see you. Simon is my guest tonight, in case you missed it. Support the old lady. Okay. That's true. We'd better use the gathered wood to expand the campsite. Huh, okay. Expansion? Do you still have the strength to swing the hammer? I have no feeling in my hands. The palisade will protect us from the wind and the seats and ceiling of the shelter from frost. It will protect if we live to see the morning. Complaining will do nothing now. We will expand the shelter in the morning. Or, wood is crucial. We can't afford to waste it. Oh, thank you, Davyverse. Is that available on Steam? I'll have to see if I can find it. I mean, I'm broke. I probably can't afford it, but I'll take a look at it. Two, wood is crucial. We can't afford to waste it. Okay. Wood is crucial. We can't afford to waste it. Go to hell. All of your previous decisions were wrong. Alright, dispatch. Hang on a second. I gotta write that down. Davyverse, are the graphics... Is it really graphics heavy? Because part of my concern was I didn't think that this was gonna... I wasn't even sure this was gonna carry these graphics, so... Is it that time of the month for the ladies? Well, I mean, Anna is a bitch no matter what in any of these games. It's very hard to get her to the point where she's, like, reasonable. Yes, the ladies are arguing over wood, and Sir Edward is just waiting for them to make a decision. Alright, what do we think, folks? Maria's Grief? Ooh, that's a new one. Lucky Charm, Edward and Betty, The Diary, or Let's Negotiate with the Renegades. PMS. Who have I missed? Is there anybody that hasn't made a decision yet? I feel like somebody hasn't. Otherwise, we'll just make it a group decision. Whoever can get their answer in the fastest. I think it's the fact that I keep thinking that 30 should still be here. Lucky Charm. Alright. Sir Edward, what are you wearing around your neck? Man, they are a bunch of nosy biddies, aren't they? What do you mean, child? I've seen you're still wearing something on a chain, but it's neither a cross nor a dog tag, because those are the only things he could possibly be wearing. Actually, in this day and age, that might be the case. You have an extremely sharp eye, my dear. What's more, few girls even know what a dog tag is, but that's nothing unusual. It looks like an amulet. Are the English superstitious? Alright, we have several superstitions and traditions, or nothing like that. What's the choice? Good lord, how far behind this game are we? There has got to be a difference in the lag between the game and my voice at this point. Either that or I'm lagging terribly. Let me try refreshing. I'll find out. Alright, apparently I was lagging. Problem solved. Alright, Rio says 2, so nothing like that. Nothing like that. We stand on the ground firmly, and this is not an amulet, just a souvenir from a journey. For sure, you are a traveler. You have been to various parts of the world. Haven't you seen items that protect the owner from danger? Child, I've seen a few things, I admit. There are places in Africa from which you can't go back without believing unusual things. Damn it, let it be. It's an amulet. I survived with it. Predicaments that I could talk about for hours, and you wouldn't believe it. So it can help us all now. I hope so. Ooh, that did good numbers for camp morale. I've never picked that one either. Spark shot from the campfire, and the fallen needles of your shelter caught the flame in an instant. Only quick action saves you from tragedy. Unfortunately, extinguishing the flame with snow violates the structure. If you don't want your den to fall apart soon, you will have to deal with arduous repair. Oh, stop. Alright, we need stone, metal, and strong backs. Davyverse, what are you well fucking about? Alright, we have healed the lady's hand. Good job, everybody. Oh, stop. Yeah. Wine. Alright, let's see if we can increase our capability to filter water. Davey, you still haven't told me what you're well fucking about. Sorry, fooking about. I don't think we're doing any expeditions today, because everything is going to get taken up. Just trying to keep everybody watered and fed. I don't even know what I have for food at this point. Not a lot, by the looks. I might manage to make 2 things of soup. In general or in-game? In-game, the shelter breaking right after using luck. That is true! The shelter broke right after Lucky Charm. I did not even consider that. Alright, so we got water, we got soup. Now we got bandages. Oh, I also forgot. We've got a coat. Maybe she'll stop bitching about the cold. And I think I'll do some tea while I have all these berries that are gonna go bad otherwise. In general, knackered and it's only Monday. Oh, I totally relate to that. Absolutely. I had the hardest time getting up this morning. I didn't sleep well last night, and this morning was just... ugh. If I didn't have animals, I would probably still be in bed. Alright. We have survived 2 hours, so we're going to do one more round of decision making and call it a day. Thank you everyone for my successful experiment. I hope I will see you all back at 7 o'clock tonight. Ooh, we have more decisions. Something is lurking in the dark around camp. You see a pair of eyes that ominously glance in your direction, slowly moving between the trees. Is it a lemur or lemur leopard, or maybe a lynx? The beast is certainly smaller than a bear, and a wolf would hardly wander alone. When you're wondering what steps are best to take in the event of an attack, the animal makes a quiet snore, and then the eyes disappear in the dark. Maybe in the morning the traces will tell you who the mysterious observer was. Alright, last set of decisions. Undercutting the Branch, The Diary, Prince Charmless, Edward and Betty, Let's Negotiate with the Renegades. I do think Edward and Betty is another side quest. Otherwise, I don't know. What's the chat's choice? Too late for me, but drop by the Jack Chat battle. Yeah, I throw your balls into the ring. Yeah, I do try and make it by for a little while, if not for the whole thing. Maybe a honey badger. A honey badger in Siberia. That would be interesting. Davyverse, you can't stay up until midnight? Why not? I have no idea what you're talking about. Ed and Betty. All right. Do you think they will come back? Who, the bandits? Are you afraid, Sir Edward? No, I'm just thinking what I would do with them if I had my loyal Betty with me. A woman is supposed to defend you, sir? This is my shotgun, a loyal companion from the African savannah. Unfortunately, I carried it in my luggage. Wait, what if my chest has survived? Looking for Betty is too risky, or we have to check that? Yes, I will definitely stop by at least for a while, Jack. I can't always stay for the whole thing, but I'll at least be listening while I'm making dinner. A honey badger with a poor sense of direction. Midnight US. No. 7 o'clock here should be 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 7 o'clock here should be midnight for you. Option 2. We have to check that. I think Rio's just picking 2 every time. Such a faithful companion comes once in a lifetime. Alright, where are we actually? Let's negotiate with renegades, marauders, the diary, or by God's grace. Long midnight UK, you meant. What? I'm very confused. Davy, I have a hard enough time with time zones without you confusing me all the more. The diary. All right. You are scribbling in that notebook again. Well, yes, of course, my dear lady. I haven't neglected writing the diary since I graduated from rugby. Well, except maybe for 3 days. During the first of them, I was in captivity among Ugandan headhunters, and I cannot speak about the second and third because of my military oath. Please share the secret with us, or such memories will not give much. Yeah, Davey, I get the getting up early. I loved doing B-side, but for a long time my husband was working overtime, so he had to be up at 4 a.m. And B-sides ended at like 2 for me. So, yeah, I really get that. Though I do have to say, he's not been pulling a lot of overtime. Maybe I'll pop into, see about the popping into B-sides at some point if they're still running. Hopefully they're doing okay. I haven't heard any updates recently. If anybody knows any updates on how Babs and Adam are doing, I'd appreciate it. I want to know how he survived the Ugandan headhunters. Alright. Please share the secret with us. Do current circumstances not release you from your vow of silence? Maybe you will please us with your fascinating secret. This is the secret we don't share, madame. And our situation, believe me, is not that tragic yet. At least not enough to stop you from writing about these boring things. So her opinion of him increased, but she's still making bitchy statements. That's right. Please treat my diary as miners treat canaries in the mine. When you see that I don't write down a note one evening, it surely means I have one foot in the grave. B-sides await the return of the cum dumpster. Also, if it turns out we can't survive this adventure, my diary may become a warning to others. For these bandits? If they can even read. However, such grim thoughts will not help us survive. You are right, or that's how we keep what's left of normality. I think this might be the last decision. What do we got? Grim thoughts? Or how we keep normality? And yes, support B-roll. See, Rio is just picking 2 to everything. I am convinced. Please forgive me, but from what I see, you look after your beauty so insistently in this remote area. I'm not criticizing it, I admire it, that you want to keep what's left of normality in this madness. If you didn't do your hair one morning, I would start thinking gloomy thoughts. If he says you're right, he's cooked for life. Alright, so, in the evening you notice Zofia has disappeared somewhere. You're calling for her for a moment and she answers from a nearby grove. Wait, I'll be right back. Soon the old woman appears in camp. She's carrying a lot of brushwood on her back. You can't stop laughing. For a moment, the distinguished old lady has disappeared, and in front of you there is a classic Russian babushka carrying fuel to the fire. All you need is a colorful headscarf. Laugh, you bastard, Zofia hisses, but you can see she's also amused with the role. It's good she has found good humor, at least for a while. Nice. Alright, so some feedback on what how you guys thought this ran. I know the game is not the most thrilling and exciting for streaming, but what was everybody's thoughts on just like how it went? And we went 2 hours, which is usually my regular stream. Feedback. She is plotting with the honey badger for sure. Stream was fine. Okay. Do you guys prefer it when I made the decisions or when you guys were making decisions? Streaming games isn't usually... Well, okay. Literally, this is the first time I've ever even considered streaming a game, so... Seems canny from visual and sound. Okay. I'm getting lots of feedback on the fact that the stream went well, which is good. But I mean, should I do it again? Should I try a different game? Should I... I mean, I can't do Diablo with this system at all, but I'm okay if you want us to make decisions. Yeah, I thought it was... I ran into a lot of fun stuff with you guys making the decisions that I've never seen before, which was really kind of neat. My concern was whether or not it was just horrifically boring for everybody because you had to kind of sit and wait for everything to catch up. That was my only concern. Jack, you said the lag, or somebody said the lag was really terrible. Maybe it was Hat. Said it was just, like, worse than most streams. I'm not necessarily sold on storytelling games, Davyverse. Like I said, I did this one because I knew that the graphics weren't too bad. And I was concerned about whether or not this was even gonna work, so... It is within acceptable tolerance. That is an interesting way of putting that. Oh. I've never run into this either. You hit a stretch of exposed muddy area further away to the south is blocked by a bizarre embankment of soil, moss, and roots. These are old larches turned over by a gale. Their horizontally extended roots, entwined above permafrost, form one wholeness, and a tree will fall under the pressure of Purga, take down the rest of the branches with it. When you think about how to bestride this natural wall, screams reach you from the northern woods. You hide among the roots and listen. These are drunken songs? The renegades, no doubt. Who else could announce their presence so boldly? There must be several of them. Even if they drank, they are a big threat, so you decide to wait amongst the roots until the voices are gone. I've never run into that one. Well, I guess we're getting the heck out of here. There's Abe and Smoo. Like, arrived, or... So do we think trying a different game with slightly better graphics next time? What's the thought process? Before tuning into Slice and Dice, drop your balls on Jack in chat battle. Yes, the obsession with Jack's balls on Mondays are, everyone has to have their weekly dose of Jack's balls. We're all for that. Okay, so I guess everybody's kind of petered out a little bit. So, Davey, I will absolutely... Davey, are we friended on Steam? Dispatch I can remember, but I'm probably going to forget the others, so... If we're not, let's connect so that I can ask you in case I forget. Join the Horse Girl Cult Goat. What? So I will take a look at those games, and if anybody else has any other game suggestions that are pretty low graphic that might be more interesting than this one, or if you have any other suggestions, that would be great. And otherwise, I hope to see everybody back at 7 o'clock for Slice and Dice, and go check out Jack. Jack, you're on in about an hour, right? Or 40 minutes? Hi, Uncle Martin. You got here just in time for us to get done sucking at gaming. I'm undecided about decision making. Pong. Eraserhead is very big on the idea of me playing Pong. You could have made decisions for me. Would have been great. About an hour and 45. Are you starting later than I thought? Jack, I thought you started around 4 my time. I guess I'm wrong. So you must start around 5 my time instead. Well, no wonder we end up overlapping. I was kind of wondering how you were doing like 3 hours of chat battle, but that makes sense now. $10 p.m. Jack, you know I can't do math. Your expectations are far too high. 100 minutes for Jack Tart. Okay, so yes, everyone go, like, do errands, be productive, and then go get your weekly dose of Jack's Balls, and then I hope that you will see us for Slice and Dice. I am going to be doing a review on a couple of games for Shadow Dark, and they are very, very strange games. Not strange games in and of themselves, but strange games to have written for Shadow Dark. So we'll talk more about that. Yes, see you all another time. I'm going to see if I can find something that's a little more exciting. I think this one was a little bit boring for people, but I didn't dare try anything else with my system the way it is. So we'll give it a shot. Math is a social construct. Unfortunately, it's probably not. I just suck at it. So, all right, I will see all of you in Jack's chat later on, and then in Slice and Dice. Everyone have a wonderful afternoon. Happy headbutting.